This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 459, Mentorship and the Monster Under the Bed, Part 2, by Mike Smerklo of MikeSmerklo.com. And I'm Dan. I am your host and narrator here, bringing you some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship in audio form each and every day. And today's post, if you tuned in yesterday, you know it's part 2 of a longer article. So if you haven't listened to part 1 yet, I'd recommend doing that first. That's episode 458. But if you have already heard part 1, let's get right to part 2 as we continue optimizing your life. Mentorship and the Monster Under the Bed, Part 2, by Mike Smerklo of MikeSmerklo.com. Lesson number 3. Having one mentor is good. Having half a dozen is better. I recently compiled a list of individuals whom I consider to be my mentors. Great leaders I could comfortably call upon to run an idea, question, or strategic consideration by, and expect both a prompt and thorough response. Not only was this a great exercise for me to express my gratitude, but it also showed me just how diverse and deep my mentor circle has become. When I reviewed the list, another point jumped out at me. There is a time component based on relevancy of your journey, and your mentorship circle should evolve as your business and personal needs change. For example, when I was first getting started, it was critical for me to get advice from those who were highly engaged in startups and all the key issues that getting a business off the ground entails. However, when my company was a more mature public company and I was able to shift my business model, it was incredibly helpful to be able to grab time with my friend Shantanu Narayan, CEO of Adobe, about what works and what doesn't when undertaking this strategic shift. I think Reid Hoffman described it best in a recent interview. Quote, "I think people think it's convenient when I say my network is my mentor," the Greylock Partners investor told attendees at Startup Grind's annual international conference in Mountain View on Tuesday. That's because they think he is just touting the kind of professional networking offered through LinkedIn, which he co-founded. "I'm not doing that, actually," Hoffman said. "What I find is I have had mentors for different aspects of my development." End quote. The key point is twofold. First, you don't need one mentor, you need several, as Reid previously mentioned. Second, your needs, like any other relationship, will evolve, so mentorship is an active, not a passive exercise. Lesson number 4. Getting good mentors takes networking and self-awareness. Here is a great quote from Sir Richard Branson on the topic of mentoring. Quote, "Mentoring was very important for me personally. For example, Sir Freddie Laker gave me invaluable advice and guidance as we set up Virgin Atlantic, while my mom has been a mentor throughout my life. Nowadays, I find mentors inside and outside of Virgin every day. If you ask any successful business person, they will always have had a great mentor at some point along the road. If you want success, then it takes hard work, and more hard work. But it also takes a little help along the way. If you are determined and enthusiastic, then people will support you." End quote. I love his point of view, but what really jumped out for me was the last line. As an entrepreneur, if you show up with a strong will to win and a high level of commitment, this attitude will be contagious. I have found that when I'm enthusiastic, it's obvious and it opens a lot of doors because people are drawn to this enthusiasm and willing to help. This is the first step to attracting great mentors who want to help you. The second step comes to self-awareness and networking. By being self-aware, I can be open to what issues I'm facing and be on the lookout for people who can help me. When I do this, I show up differently and repeatedly find myself connecting with great mentors without consciously seeking them out. It's like when you buy a new car. Ever notice that the day after you buy a new Jeep, how many other cool people are also driving a Jeep? Did the population of Jeep owners suddenly increase due to your new purchase? How many followers do you have on Twitter? Or is it your self-awareness around the coolness of Jeeps that just skyrocketed? So it goes with mentorship. By being enthusiastic, self-aware, and open to networking, you will be amazed at how many mutually beneficial relationships will materialize. So that brings me back to my original question and why it's so crucial. Lesson number 5. The monster will only win if you let it. Don't let it. To be a great entrepreneur and leader, it takes courage, confidence, and a willingness to do what others have not been able to do in the past. This is all good stuff. However, if you have these traits but don't have self-awareness and the willingness to ask for help, I would wager that your proclivity for success is low. It might sound counterintuitive in some ways, and it definitely shatters the myth that everything the entrepreneur touches automatically turns to gold. But sometimes being the hero really does mean asking for help, because that's the most foolproof, expedient way of moving from point A to point B. Being a great entrepreneur really means finding the most efficient way to get your goals accomplished, and just about everything you are trying to do has been done by someone before you. Reid Hoffman put it well when he said, quote, "As entrepreneurs, we are confident. We like to think we can figure things out for ourselves, but seek out intelligence. That's really important. It's far less costly to get intelligence in a 15 to 30-minute conversation than to spend a couple months doing something and realize that it was the wrong thing to do." End quote. Your ability to find that someone, self-awareness, develop a relationship, network, and learn, copy from them, will help you get the results you want in a much shorter time frame than doing it yourself. The key is to see mentorship, advice, and input as a sign of strength. It is the weak leader who believes he needs to do it all himself. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled Mentorship and the Monster Under the Bed by Mike Smerklo of MikeSmerklo.com. With hybrid work becoming the norm now, the strongest teams have 2 things in common: speed and alignment. Both come from having one hub where everyone can share work and processes, manage projects, and collaborate with clarity. For companies of all sizes, Notion provides one central and customizable workspace that can be tailored to fit any team and bring all teams together to get more done and move faster. Notion is an all-in-one team collaboration tool that combines note-taking, document sharing, wikis, project management, and much more into one space that's simple, powerful, and beautifully designed. With powerful integrations and seamless navigation, you'll have everything you need in one spot, so you can make speed your advantage without the silos and context switching that slow companies down. It's what our team here at OLD uses to keep track of everything, and we definitely recommend it highly. So learn more and get started for free at notion.so. You can check it out on your own and invite as many folks as you want to see how it works. Take the first step toward an organized, happy team today, again, at notion.so. That's notion.so. And thank you again to Mike. You can come by MikeSmerklo.com to show your support, and be sure to check out his book as well. It's called Mr. Monkey and Me. And if you didn't know already, we actually have 5 different podcasts narrating articles for you, just like this one, but covering a wide range of topics from personal development and minimalism to personal finance, health, and relationships. So to get a bunch more articles being read to you daily to optimize your life, search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you get your audio, and all 5 of our shows should pop right up for you. And then you can follow or subscribe from there, and that'll get you the new episodes automatically. So thank you so much for checking out all of our shows. That is, of course, how we're able to keep this network of podcasts going for you. But that is going to do it for today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will be back here with you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.